New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio announcing that the newly released terror leader, Oscar Lopez Rivera, will not play a formal role in the Puerto Rican Day Parade. He will still, however, march in the event. Rivera, considered a top leader of the FALN, that's a Puerto Rican terror group. It was responsible for over 100 bombings in America during the 70s and 80s. Joe Connor is with us. His father, Frank, was killed in one of the FALN's most well-known bombings at the Francis Tavern in New York City. Joe, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Stuart. Thanks for having me.
Now, he has not accepted the honor, but he will march. Your take?
My take is, why is he still being given the honor? We're in a position now where Lopez is turning down a Freedom Hero Award or some insanity like that, and turning it down. Not the politician saying, you know what, he's not worthy of this. He's a terrorist. He shouldn't be marching. He shouldn't be there. So they are not pulling the award from him. He is showing an incredibly more integrity, if you will, than the Melissa Mark Viveritos, the Mayor de Blasios, and the Luis Gutierrez's of the world.
Now, how do you feel about him being released? Because he has been released, regardless of whether he marches in the parade or not. How do you feel about a man being released? I think he was in prison for 30 years.
Yeah. He was released. He was offered clemency in '99 by the Clintons. He turned it down.
Yeah.
He was offered it again by Obama. He never should have been released. He's a terrorist. I faced him at his parole hearing in 2011. He wouldn't take responsibility for anything. He never looked for contrition. He was even quoted recently as saying, if they came to Terre Haute, to the prison, looking for someone to say he's sorry, they came to the wrong guy. So he never should have been released. Having said that, he was released. He spent about half of his prison term. He finished about half of his prison term. 35 years. He was sentenced to 70 years. He never should have been released. Having said that, he was. Now there's a big leap between being released from prison and becoming a hero of a parade.
Yes. What kind of message does this send to America's Puerto Rican community? I think it's the Puerto Rican community that wanted him in this parade in the first place and offered him the honor.
You know, I don't know about that. I've gotten thousands of tweets over the last few weeks, and none of them have been in support of Lopez. And they've come from Puerto Ricans on the island and in the U.S. Everyone has been extraordinarily supportive, apologetic, saying, Joe, please don't think that we support terrorism. We don't support Oscar Lopez. He's a criminal. He never had any standing in Puerto Rico. Only 3% ever looked for independence.
Why was he offered an honor? Okay, he turned it down, but why was he offered an honor?
He's still being offered the honor.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Why hasn't that been withdrawn?
Because Melissa Mark Viverito and her ilk agree with him. That's the only thing you can come down to anymore. In Chicago, they named the street after him, and she was emboldened. In 2014, his brother, Jose, was named the Grand Marshal of the parade, and I confronted Viverito at Gracie Mansion about that, and she got nasty really quickly with me that Oscar is no terrorist. He only was convicted of seditious conspiracy, which is BS. He was convicted of several things, and he was tied to all the bombings.
Did he organize bombings? Did he plant bombs?
He was the leader of the FALN. Freddie Mendez was the only FALN member that ever testified. He said Oscar recruited, he taught them bomb techniques, he taught them how to turn watches into timing devices. When they caught him in Chicago in his safe house, he had the communiques that were used in Francis, the same mimeograph communiques the FBI could connect. He was a leader of the group. He turned down clemency in '99. Let's not forget, because he wouldn't renounce violence. And he said later that it's because Carlos Torres, one of the other leaders, was not offered clemency. He stayed in prison as the leader to go down with the ship.
Are you going to be watching that parade?
I'm going to be at my daughter's final dance recital on that day, and that's where I belong, and that's where my dad would want me.
Good man, Joe. Joe Connor, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Top of the 11th.